Hey, I just checked the mail, and my Neil Gaiman Norse mythology book is in. So they just lied. USPS just lied when they said it was supposed to be here 2 days ago. It was just here today, and they just said it was delivered already 2 days ago for some reason. Alright, and we're gonna get all thematic this month. But first I need a shower. I like the idea of taking older stuff and having an author kind of rewrite it to make it more like,
leaving so soon?
Come on.
When Odin sent me here, I just needed answers, but you had to act all proud. Throw whatever you have at me. I'll keep coming. That old body will give out. But before I end this, I want you to know one thing. I can't feel any of this.
Ah, look at all that rock layering.
You've seen it with your
Authentic
own
rock
eyes.
layering. Look at that.
Can't hurt me.
Yeah.
Nothing can. This fight is pointless. Your struggle is pointless. It didn't have to be this way.
Dude, Kratos has been through like 8 games of everyone telling him that he can't win.
But that's...
Oh. That was cool.
You can't win. I feel nothing. But you feel everything, yet you keep trying. I'm not my brother. And if you'd given me what I wanted, it wouldn't have ended this way. But no. Let's finish this.
Am I crazy, or is he still not asked a question that he wants us to answer? Like, also, Kratos can also do the flex and all my wounds go away thing. Can I do that when I'm playing as him? I'm really having trouble believing that the Draugr are any kind of are any kind of threat in this game when I can do this kind of shit during this fight. Is it because I'm not angry enough against Draugr? Where are you landing? Why do you feel nothing? Oop. That was a very nice. Returning blow. It keeps turning off the lock on, I guess because he moves so much. Ow. Okay. You could just fall off this ledge real quick, that'd be nice. Ooh. Oh. I lost. Whew. Okay. We keep regenerating, but only during cutscenes.
You can't beat me.
I'd like that one move I did where, Ow. Why didn't that work? I liked when I threw my blade and missed him, and then it hit him in the back right when I deflected his attack. But oop, yep. So I deflected his attack, and then while he was doing a slow motion punch on my shield, the blade hit him in the back, which is kind of great. Ow! It happened there too, but I didn't do the block. Good. But nope. Good. Only certain attacks count. Other ones are like story attacks that only are basically cutscenes. I got him. That's great.
I'd hope that you, of everyone I faced, would finally make me feel something, but you can't.
I do not remember who that is. I don't remember a Norse figure that can't feel. My theory about ice powers might be wrong. Huh. Well.
Who was he? He knew me. Did he know my past? How did they find me after all this time? Faye, what do I do? Our son is not ready to carry your ashes to the top of the mountain.
Well, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Am I? I do not know how to do this without you. But we cannot stay here.
There was so much. I thought. You're all right.
I am all right. Come. Gather your things. We are leaving.
Thought I wasn't ready.
You are not. We have no choice now. Prove me wrong.
Yes, sir.
Based on their previous interactions, before the fight happened. It really does seem like his disease is something about his behavior.
Long trip.
The marked trees.
But an important one.
Whoa. How did this happen?
Your daddy's a badass, as it turns out. Like, distressingly so. The stranger. A strange man covered in tattoos came to the house and attacked Father. It must have been some fight. Everything's broken. Father said I wasn't ready earlier, but something about killing this stranger changed his mind, I guess. Who was he? What did he want with us? We're nobodies. Oh, you don't know. You don't know who your daddy is. Whoopsie. I like the detail that it gets added to the journal the moment that the kid finds out about it. We just did that whole encounter, but it's only when the kid sees the ravine that the stranger's added to the journals. The game's really focused on having one continuous sweeping camera. Every single cutscene, the camera does not move. Or does not cut, I mean. It sweeps around and follows and sticks with us the entire time. Ah, that's one of the toys. Yeah. That first one was really a satisfying noise for some reason. Ah, I can't go in there, can I? But I'm totally missing one of the toys. Isn't that where we went, or is it this way? Bet if I take a...
Atreus.
I bet if I take a quick look, I can figure out where I missed it. Oh, that's water. Oh. Until I came right up to it, I thought it was ice. It looked like ice. Right until I reached it. Then I saw the flowing. Comes back with a fish sticking off of it. This is how the god of war goes fishing. That tree is floating. Whoopsie. Whoopsie, that tree is floating above the cliff, and you can see the hollow hole in the bottom of it. Even with all this polish, it's just so much environment to polish and do right. Even at the most expensive games ever made, with next level, like, all this glamour, all the trick they do with, like, the terrain falling apart over the course of the fight and stuff like that. Still, little things just sneak out there. Video games are hard to make and play. Nope, that Cairn is impervious to my powers. There we go, they said that I have a run. Look at me go. That initial burst of speed is so severe. So the locking experience progress behind collectibles. So I figure I should do a once over or something. Since I'm missing one. I can't go back. Does that mean something? Or is it just a coincidence that there's a slat that is glowing through there? Well, I double checked. We'll just have to see if it's still ahead of me or not.
Who was he?
I do not know.
What did he want with us? We're nobodies. Did you kill him?
I did what had to be done.
That's actually more words than it takes to just say yes. You a few words. Oh, the symbol. If that symbol's there, I think that means that this particular part of the ravine was already here. But we destabilized things, though. I like these details in games. The horizontal rocks. Oh.
Could have died. Never leave me alone again. All right?
All right.
Kratos is good at could have dying. Okay, that's far down. Yeah, the reason why rocks form these horizontal layers is because when sediment is deposited, or really any rocks really, they're always deposited horizontally. If it's igneous rock, then it's magma, and if it's sediment, then it says sand and cobbles and so on, and then it solidifies into these rocks after it's already... Oopsie. Nope. Then it solidifies into rock layers, and then different parts of this are either silt, or clay, or sand, or cobble, and so they have different levels of resistance on the different parts. You can actually see that in that. If you get really fine detail right there, you can see that one, like right in the center of the left of the screen, you can see that one reddish big rock there. And if you look at that layer of the rocks, there's a bunch of pock marks everywhere, where there's either a little rock sticking out like that red one, or there's a bunch of like sockets where that look like a bunch of holes. And that's because that layer is cobblestone, and the cobbles that are on the outmost layer have fallen out, leaving a bunch of craters where the rock used to be, because they fall out of the matrix. The matrix being the cement that holds it all together on that particular layer, which is made up of finer grain sediments. That's more like sand and so on. And so you end up with just like the matrix left behind of the sand with all the little pock marks in it, and some rocks sticking out of it. That's a conglomerate or a breccia. And between those, you have these darker layers that are a much finer grain. That entire layer is silt or sand or something, and not made up of cobbles. And so it's a much more uniform, solid little chunk. And different layers erode more or less easily than other ones, which is why each individual layer sticks out more or less than the other ones do. Now, do they understand geology when they make these things? I don't know. There's a good chance that they just looked at a picture and tried to make it photorealistic to what they were looking at without necessarily knowing what they were recreating. But that's what they effectively recreate nowadays when they go to such great lengths to recreate what nature looks like, is that it starts to actually create like geological formations in video games that make sense. This is where I had to have some fun, is when I played this game and Horizon Zero Dawn and look at the nightmarishly detailed environments, because they're starting to look really true to life in a lot of ways. Look at that. All the rocks there. And of course the trees that tore it up. One of the biggest things that fights against erosion is actually plant life. Because you can see like there's so many structural roots going through the ground that they just, all of that stuff is held in position normally by the tree. In this case, the tree has been upturned and it should be falling into an abyss, but it's so structurally sound, and by the extent to which it's holding to the earth, that it still is dangling and sticking around. Like one of the things that stops mudslides and stuff like that is just having a bunch of grass that grows along a hillside, because all those roots stabilize the entire landscape. And if all the grass dies, then you can abruptly be in trouble and at risk of landslides and mudslides and stuff like that, which is a problem in parts of Southern California, for example, because this place is basically a desert, and so all of our grass is dead all the time. Someone had fun making this. God damn.
You've had to kill people before, haven't you? You're used to it.
We do what we must to survive.
Animals, I get. They're food. Draugr, they're supposed to be dead. But people, they're trying to survive too.
Close your heart to it. On our journey, we will be attacked by all manner of creature. Close your heart to their desperation. Close your heart to their suffering. Do not allow yourself to feel for them. They will not feel for you.
I understand.
Close your heart to their suffering.
Has this been here all this time?
Who's keeping these fires lit? I don't know if I should be.
Me up there. I can get a better look.
I don't know if I should be more impressed by the lighting or the fact that this lighting's on a console. That's one of my little gifts to myself a little bit, is that because I neglect AAA games so much, mostly out of past experiences, enough time passes between each one that I get to be wowed by all the technological progress that's involved. Well, the last really like beautiful looking game I played was Hellblade, and that wasn't even AAA, arguably. No, definitely. It's definitely not entirely accurate to call it indie, but it definitely wasn't AAA.
Good idea.
Because no indie studio can make a game that looks like that. Not a properly indie one. The definition's gotten confusing over the years. Because, I mean, arguably CD Projekt Red is indie. If it just means... Would you just yell?
Boy.
Mayday.
Oh, there you go. Ah, you go do thing. Even though I'm pretty sure Kratos can jump that high, but we're just gonna pretend all those superhero shit that we did in the cutscenes isn't real. I guess.
That hanging bucket. An offering cask? Mother said Odin's disciples fill them with gifts and hang them where thieves can't reach them. That one looked really old.
Foolish.
What is? Worshipping the gods?
The gods care nothing for them. Men should not pray to monsters.
Men should not pray to monsters. There's like old climbing ropes here. Like there used to be a path here. But there's a lot of those kinds of details here. Hello. Where are we going? Oh. Hey. I'm gonna miss so many secrets in this game. Because they are all over the place. They're sneaky. Can I just jump down instead of across? No. Yeah. There's a really specific, deliberate,
Wait! How are you gonna get across now?
and restrictive platforming. You definitely just press circle at the map locations. The act of jumping in this game is kind of like the act of opening a chest, and that's essentially a quick time event that you do in a contextual location, as opposed to a thing that your character can do in gameplay. What if I do this? Aww. I wanted to launch me. Badass. It doesn't seem to be that strong of a counterweight, though. Ah. Do I want to go up yet? I should probably click on this. It's probably just... I probably was already full on health anyway. Whoop.
Father, will we see others on the road?
Yes.
Friendly?
No.
They'll try and rob us?
Possibly. Yes.
Oh.
You'll probably meet somebody friendly. Nope. Just kicking it down for future reference. Yeah, you get a few chances to look back and notice things like that.
Look. All this time, there's been a protection stave around our entire woods. But The stave's broken there. Did you cut those down?
She hand marked the tree she wished used for her pyre.
Why'd she do that?
Come. No looking back now.
Who was she? I'm gonna look back, by the way. I assume she made that? Like she could protect the whole area like that? Wait, were you surprised that there was a protective stave, I think you called it? Because, like, that's the house down there, right? So, like, it's, like, right in line of sight. Like, you can definitely see it. Like, you'd have to be in your house for your entire life to not notice the giant glowy ring around it. I assume she did this. Like, she had this ability. Was that defending against people like Stranger coming in? Did he get in specifically because of the fact that we cut down that tree? The one that she requested us to? Might be. I hate containers of all sorts. They must be eliminated.
So, how long will it take to get to the mountain?
I do not know.
Before winter falls?
I do not know.
Okay, okay.
There are so many dead around here, by the way.
Should I fire?
Wait for my mark.
That raises all new questions about the protective stave. This area is just full of the dead. Why is it so full of the dead? How long have they been dead here for? You were supposed to wait for my orders. That's against the rules. I love that I can combo him in the air with arrows. There we go. Did I take his leg off? No? Trip 100 enemies. I can work on that. Haha. 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 This is bullying. Wow, that took some damage. That guy seems to be less durable. Whatever that enemy type is. Threat indicators around Kratos point to off-screen enemies. Gold indicators signify nearby enemies. And red indicates nearby attacks. So that's how they deal with the fact that the camera is really iffy. Purple is projectiles.
Ready, Father!
The sound effect. Ow. Whoopsie doodle. They're very focused on him and not me. Hey, you got a kill. Stop that. You're being very rude. Okay, this is actually a lot of enemies. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop that. There we go. No more projectiles. Stop it. There we go. Whoop. No. Yep. Well. Oh, you just had to let me know this trick existed. Finish him.